Kaylee Slauson. I'm a junior at Davidson College, and for my favorite poem project, I have chosen Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking by Walt Whitman. It was published in 1859, and it's one of his longer poems, though obviously not his longest. It's about 185 lines or so. And I chose this poem because, honestly, I'm just really in love with Whitman's style. He embodies a lot of the qualities that I find most comforting in poetry. Poetry has been a comfort and an outlet for me for, most of my life that I can remember. And what I find comforting about it is the rawness, the beauty, the emotionality of it that you honestly can't find in many other places. Poetry has a way of making words mean more than they mean, and I find that really, really incredible. But there are a lot of poems, especially under the general umbrella of what we might call modernism, that glorify complexity. That I think of, for example, Ezra Pound's Cantos. A poem like that you don't just read, you have to analyze it and research it and sit on it and think about it. And it's like a puzzle box. You take it and you find something in it that wasn't immediately obvious. And there are a lot of people probably who do find comfort in that process, but for me, I've always been much more attracted to poems that are more sentimental than clever. And Walt Whitman, he's certainly very sentimental, but he's also colorful, vivid, powerful, celebratory. He deals in the beauty of the individual and the power of patriotism and the immense complexity of life. And he loves it. He celebrates it, and it's amazing. I love reading his poetry just for the emotion of it too. I think a lot of poems will try to use symbols and things like that to distance themselves from emotion, to kind of subsume it. And Whitman doesn't do that. He utilizes emotion. He brings it to the forefront. He magnifies it. This poem actually is an excellent example of that. He talks about the grief of losing a loved one, the loneliness that follows this peculiar despair. And that's another reason actually that I chose this particular poem among all of Whitman's poems, because his poems are primarily extravagantly colorful, and this one has much more nuance, is a little bit darker, it's a little bit more complicated. And so it has two parts. The first part follows a young boy as he finds a young pair of mockingbirds nesting together. The female disappears and the male grieves for his lost mate. In the second part, it follows the same boy, now a man, as he wanders the seashore and listens to the sea and is reinvented by it. And I'll just be reading a portion of the ending, about 30 lines or so, just in honor of how long the poem is. So just the ending then. And it begins, "Oh, you singer solitary, singing by yourself, projecting me. Oh, solitary me, listening. Nevermore shall I cease to be perpetuating you. Nevermore shall I escape, nevermore the reverberations, nevermore the cries of unsatisfied love be absent from me. Never again leave me to be the peaceful child I was before, that what there in the night, by the sea, under the yellow and sagging moon. The messenger there arouse, the fire, the sweet hell within, the unknown want, the destiny of me. Oh, give me the clue. It lurks in the night here somewhere. Oh, if I am to have this much, let me have more. A word then, for I will conquer it. The word final, superior to all, subtle, sent up. What is it? I listen. Are you whispering it, and have been all this time you see ways? Is that it from your liquid rims and wet sand. Where to answering the sea, not hurrying, not delaying, whispered me through the night, and very plainly, before daybreak, lisped to me the low and delicious word death, and again, death, death, death. But edging near as privately for me, rustling at my feet, creeping thence steadily up to my ears and laving me all over death, death, death. But I forget it not, but fuse the song of my dusky demon and brother that he sang to me in the moonlight on Pananock's gray beach, with 1,000 responsive songs at random, my own songs awaked from that hour, and with them the key, the word up from the waves, the word of the sweetest song of all the songs, that strong and delicious word which, creeping to my feet, or like some old crone rocking the cradle, swathed in sweet garments, bending aside, the sea whispered me.